Hello crafters! With Valentine's Day right around the corner, I thought I would make a cute little tumbler. As with all tumblers, it's always important to remember that you start working with a properly prepped tumbler. If you aren't familiar with how to do this or you don't know what I mean, I will link another video in the comment section. So I'm working with the Aurora 3-in-1 primer, paint, and sealer line, and I've used chalky white as my base. White is one of the colors that often requires an extra coat for good coverage. So you'll notice that this coat isn't looking perfect, and that's okay, because once it dries and we add another coat, it will be perfect. Now I've waited a full half hour before starting to apply this second coat of white, and you can see already that it's really starting to make a difference. If I wasn't adding a glitter to this tumbler, I would probably do a third coat. However, the glitter is going to cover any minor imperfections that might show up. So I've let the second coat, base coat, dry for half an hour, and I'm ready to start adding the glitter. So I'm going to use the Helios 2 glitter glue, and I'm applying a thin even coat all the way around the tumbler. You want to make sure that your coats are smooth and you don't have any thin lines or lumps of glue, as you'll be able to see these imperfections once the glitter dries. Once I've applied the Helios, I'll apply the glitter right away, and then I'm going to let it dry for another half hour. Now that the Helios has had a chance to dry, and you want to make sure you seal your glitter. This is an important step, as by leaving it out, when you go to apply your top coat, the glitter may move around or it might flake off. And while you might still end up with glitter on your tumbler, you could end up with bare spots. So to make sure you have a nicely coated glitter layer, don't forget to seal. You're still using Helios, and you are just going to brush it over the top. You might still get a little bit of movement with the glitter, but not as much, as the glue works amazing. If you're using a chunky glitter, I would highly recommend that using parchment paper and wrapping it around the tumbler and gently rolling while applying pressure. Therefore, you're ensuring that the glitter is embedded into the glue. So we are now ready to get our tumbler onto our turner and start applying our top coats. Generally with the first coat, I tend to put on a little bit more than I would with subsequent layers. I find that the first coat really gets absorbed into the glitter, so I just like adding a little bit more for the first layer. Doing a tumbler with the handle is always a bit more of a challenge, so I'll make sure to do a good layer of Hyperion around the tumbler itself first, and then I'll stop the tumbler so that I can attend to the top, the bottom, and the sides of the handle. Then I'll turn the tumbler back on, and I'll let it go around, and I'll just watch for any drips and smooth them out with my brush. So I've cut out with my Cricut and using vinyl this SVG, and then I've applied it to the tumbler. I do have another video on this particular SVG working right from Cricut, so I didn't want to duplicate. So I will also link that down below as well. But what you want to do after you put on your decals is to put another base coat of your Hyperion. So altogether, what I did with this tumbler is I put on 2 coats of the HP that you saw earlier in the video, and then I sanded it. I put on 2 more coats, and then I applied the vinyl. Then I put on 3 more coats of the Hyperion, and I sanded it, and then I added 2 more coats. I might add 1 more coat yet, but I'm just waiting for it to dry, but I think that I'm going to be able to stop at the second coat. It's just going on quite nicely. So again, you're just always, wanting to make sure of the handle, and so you might want to start your tumbler if that helps. I just find it's easier to stop and start my turner, but, of course, do whatever works for you. And just watch for runs, and you'll want to make sure that you smooth those out with your brush. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send us an email or come join our group. We have lots of interaction there and can come up with more ideas for you.